You're being a bit of a stalker now.
The match commander accused me of starting a riot. Anfield DJ causes Italian fury.
It's funny, isn't it, how you've got this useless information in your head?
Hey, don't get on your high horse.
My dad wears glasses.
Yeah.
They went for a 6 and I thought, they've gone. And then he come up with them on.
Go and bend these. Going to Sir Stanley, best wishes, have a nice Christmas. Pele. So,
No. Hello, welcome to episode number 2 of In Conversation with Bobby Murdock. I've got 2 amazing guests today, 2 people that I've known not so long, but I've had the absolute pleasure of meeting them both. My first guest is George Sephton, and if you don't know who George is, you might know his voice, because he is the voice of Anfield. George would be the stadium announcer. He would announce the goal scorers, extra time and all of that. So thank you, George. And you've just quit, obviously, at Liverpool as well after 54 years.
You know, quit wasn't the word I'd use, but I'm sitting in the stands with the rest of the fans now, trying to get used to it.
Great. And my second guest is stand-up comedian, Liverpool legend as well, I think we can fairly say, Mick Miller. So welcome to both of my guests.
Lovely to be here.
Great to be here. This is great, isn't it? We're here in Liverpool as well. I think that's very important to mention. So thank you for coming along. So George, just want to start with you first of all. So you were the voice of Anfield at Liverpool Football Club. Was it for 54 years?
54 years, yeah.
54 years.
I was only 7 when I started. Yeah, no, it's... I only found out recently, well, I knew, but I'd forgotten that Bob Paisley was only there 54 years, and that set me back, that, but it just went on and on.
So Bob Paisley was at the football club for 54 years, right? There's some amazing stories about Bob. I don't know if you know this. He was a builder, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And could you imagine this now? I read Tommy Smith's autobiography, and the reason why Tommy Smith was called the Anfield Iron, because basically Bob Paisley built the main stand.
Yeah.
And to work him out, he gave Tommy Smith a little hacksaw about that big and said, right, chop that girder for me. So apparently, Tommy Smith was on this girder for days, maybe weeks, and that's why they called him the Anfield Iron. So a little thing there. So Bob was at the club 54 years. So what year was it when you started, please, George?
1971, August the 14th.
Right.
Same day as Kevin Keegan.
Really?
Yeah, that was weird because obviously we just got him from Scunthorpe.
Right.
35 grand paid for him. I keep telling people that wouldn't buy a round of drinks in the players' bar now. But I remember somebody behind me saying, that new lad's a bit of a tiger, isn't he? And of course, obviously he went on, turned into a superstar. And I've seen him recently, but I know the first time I'd seen him for years was at Brian Hall's funeral, which was about, 5-6 years ago now, maybe more. And I collared him and said, you don't remember we started the same day? And great, very nice. And then he walked away and came back and said, hang on. He said, you're still there? I said, yes, Kevin. But I think you did slightly better out of it than I did.
Yeah, it's the experience though.
Yeah, but he's a lovely guy. He seems to be doing the circuit at the moment.
Well, do you know, I know a funny story about Kevin Keegan, a recent one. You might have heard this. There's a comedian called Kevin Finn.
Yeah.
And he was at a comedy club in Liverpool at Hot Water. And he's in the green room and he said, he didn't know who Kevin Keegan was. He didn't recognise him. And he said, when are you on? And he said, I'm on in a minute. And he said, my name's Kevin. He said, what's your name? He said, I'm Kevin as well. He said, I'm named after Kevin Keegan. And he went, I am Kevin Keegan. So he had no idea. And he went, what? So his dad named him after Kevin Keegan. He was Canadian and he moved to Liverpool, moved from Liverpool to Canada. But he went, I am Kevin Keegan. So it's a funny story, that. So do you remember the match? Do you remember the match that it was?
Vividly. Nottingham Forest.
Right.
We beat them 3-1. And I mean, I remember getting there and freezing. I just got to the top of the old... You remember there was a fire escape up the side of the old main stand?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't, actually. But I got to the top of there, looked down at all these people, And I'm standing there and think, how did I get into this? What have I done? And then I stood there for a minute or two and I thought, well, I've either got to get on with this or go home, pack a bag and emigrate, because my family will never speak to me ever again. And it's like, you know what they say about footballers when they kick off the cup final, all your nerves have gone. And as soon as I put the first record on, I was away, and the rest of it, they say, is...
So you were like the disc jockey as well?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you people... there were people, there probably still are people who thought that I turned up 10 minutes before kick-off, put "You'll Never Walk Alone" on, and I said, no, I'll do 2 hours of music before the game.
Yeah.
It takes to do it.
So you choose the tracks?
Oh, yeah. Well, I did until the last couple of years when we switched from
What was it on your first match, Al Jolson?
No, it was, I think the first record I played was Maggie May by
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart,
Which, if you look back now, some of the stuff I used to play was quite insipid. But for the first, 20 years, the music I was playing was to entertain the crowd, basically. And I know, this is Liverpool, they're the best music fans in the business, but somewhere over the years it's changed. So the last few years, my job had been to get the crowd going, playing the stuff, and then we started getting input from people at the head office who were more keen on playing house music and whatever. And I know more than, as I say, Spotify came in, took over the sound system a couple of years ago, and then it changed. It's very easy to get a playlist together on Spotify, but it's very easy to change it. More than once I go to the gents or go and make a cup of tea, and I come back and there's a track playing. I thought, hang on,
I haven't picked this.
I've never heard of that. Never mind, not picked it.
So originally, was it the old
oh yes, it was,
needle on?
Yeah, it was 7-inch vinyl, and then in the 80s everything was on 12-inch vinyl. And I used to I've still got the case at home. I used to take a big bag of vinyl in. I swear one arm was longer than the other after 12 months of that. Big, heavy
It's
case.
mad that, isn't it? Because that, you talk about technology, and you've seen that change of transition.
Oh, absolutely.
In the football club in general. And then, like you say, from having this big bag of records.
But it's all coming back now.
It's going round again. But I eventually swapped to CD, which was much easier. And then we had 4 or 5 years, and everything was just on a USB stick. It was wonderful. Just shove it in your pocket and go.
It is crazy, isn't it, that you can put thousands. I mean, like you say, it's that. So at the football club, you've seen so much change.
Yeah.
I think every stand has changed in that time.
Everything has changed.
Everything's changed.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, everything was in black and white. But the memory stick was brilliant, except one day I stopped on the way to Anfield to clean the car out at the local garage, and I managed to hoover up one of the USB sticks.
You're joking?
Yeah, gone. Luckily, I had a copy, me being paranoid, I had a copy in my other pocket, and thank God it worked when we turned up. I don't know what I would have done otherwise.
Could you imagine humming for 2 hours?
First time I went to Anfield, my dad took me, and it was Ian St John's first match.
Yeah.
Right.
I was there for that. Yeah.
Never forget, and you know the way the police horses were putting you in line. And there was a fella in front, and I'll never forget it. He went to this copper, he went, "Hey, don't get on your high horse." Never ever forgot that. I was 9 years old.
You do get some crackers that come out, don't you, from the crowd. Someone will shout something and you're just like, that is a belter.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I mean, I would come in home from the match a couple of weeks ago, going, there was a church at the bottom of Anfield Road. And I remember, we're talking the 60s now, there was a placard saying, "What would you do if Christ came to Liverpool?" And underneath somebody had written "Moose and John" to inside left. That could only happen in Liverpool.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's incredible, isn't it? So your last game then, we just move forward to that a bit. Do you know, just thinking, I'm a Liverpool fan as well. I'm a season ticket holder for Liverpool. That's half our subscribers gone. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a massive football fan. But one game that stands out for me, there's a few. The game against Juve. Yeah.
Do you
remember the one where Luis Garcia smashed it in the top corner? There's so many moments, isn't there? The semi-final against Chelsea. That night, I don't know what it was that night. That we were in the ground a good 2 hours before kick-off, because I think it was a 20-year absence of winning the European Cup, or the new format, what it is now, the Champions League. And I remember being in that main stand, and the atmosphere was just incredible. And at full time, everyone was jumping around, and my dad wears glasses. Yeah. They went for a 6, and I thought, they've gone. And everyone danced around them and avoided his glasses, and then he come up with them on. So there's so many moments. So, and obviously the Barcelona game as well, where we had to.
That was my favourite.
So is that the one that stands out for you? I know that's quite recent.
Absolutely. I mean, again, you couldn't have written the script. If you put that in a boys' comic, Roy of the Rovers, you'd say it was just too far-fetched to be true, because we were 3-0 down from the first leg. 2 of our star players were cropped. Yeah. And a lot of people turned up that night just thinking, well, I bought my ticket, I can go and tell my grandkids I saw Messi play and all the rest of it. And then, obviously, the way it went, it was
incredible. It was incredible.
The famous corner taken quickly. I remember, if I close my eyes now, I can see Trent, the antics, the walking away, and the ball boy chucking it at him, and ding, ding, it's in the back of the net. And I didn't announce the goal, because I thought, the referee's going to tell us to take it again.
I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, and then it slowly dawns on me, no, he isn't. The place went ballistic. I think it was it 20 minutes at the end of the game? Yeah. It felt like about 3 days in my mind.
Yeah, I remember watching James Milner just collapse to the floor, because I think he knew that he was coming towards the end of his time at Liverpool, and maybe he thought, I've got to get my hands on this, because he's won everything, hasn't he, Milner? Yeah. And great servant for the club as well.
Absolutely.
So there's so many stories. The St Etienne game, were you at that one as well?
That was one I nearly didn't get in, because I was working in Manchester, if you'll forgive the language. And I drove, at breakneck speed to get to Anfield. And I was going to my usual parking space, and there was a queue right across the road to get in the Kop. And I was pleading with these fellas, please lads, just let me through. And eventually the waters parted, and I got through and legged it into the building. But, that was a night and a half. That just because we were on our way out, weren't we? Yeah. Thinking, never mind.
Is that where the French opposition started singing? Was it Allons le Reds?
That's it. Yeah.
Do you know? I've got it wrong, of course.
Allons le Reds.
Yeah. They were singing for Liverpool. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird that you don't normally get that in football stadia. No. So you've got a book out as well. Do you want to show?
Yes.
People at home the book.
Still available on Amazon.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just in time for Christmas.
There you go.
And the unsigned ones, or the rare ones, for investment purposes. But I'm very proud of that, because I was just before the end of
some great pictures in there as well.
Some fantastic pictures in here. But I think it was 2019. I got collared one day by Peter Hooton from the farm. Yeah. He said, I wanted to come and meet my literary agent. I thought, okay. And they sat me down with a coffee and said, you've been here nearly half a century now.
Incredible.
Yeah. And he said, you must have some tales to tell. And, well, yeah. You thought of writing a book? I thought, that's a good idea. And of course, my life went over to that. And the weird thing was that I spent weeks and months sat there with Wikipedia pages, old diaries, old programs, and I got to the stage I need to get it all together for the publisher. And it was the third week of March 2020, and I'm sat there. It was March the 23rd. I think I need to sit in front of my laptop for a few weeks on my own. And good old Boris comes on the telly and says, you've all got to stay home. you know, and I thought, thank you. I was the only person in England who was happy, I think, that night.
Because you could drive.
Yeah, but it's
that was the thing as well during that sort of COVID season, and we won the league obviously that season as well. Were you still in the stadium?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I said to my
weird,
wife,
wasn't it? Saying announcements to literally just the staff.
Yeah, it was weird. And I said to my wife, they won't want me if there's no crowd in there. But Liverpool were very canny. They did their best to do everything as near normal as possible. You know, Peter McDowell was standing on the touchline doing the teams. I was playing the music to an empty stadium. You know, I was announcing the goal scorers. Sky were pumping crowd noises in the background.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
And quite a few of the grounds around the country were filling the stands. I think we had huge banners.
Yeah.
And a few places, the smaller grounds, I think it was Brentford, they had rows upon rows of cut-out cardboard people.
Right.
So it made the players feel more at home.
Some stadium charged the fans for that, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
You could have a picture of you in your seat, just like a
right,
cardboard.
It was
You
crazy.
probably get a game now.
At some clubs, yeah. But that's incredible. That's incredible. So COVID, and obviously I want to talk about this because I think you mentioned it on the pitch in the last game of the season.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a ticket for that, by the way. That was the only game that
Yeah.
I sort of regret missing last year and just couldn't get a ticket. But the Crystal Palace game, I know you spoke about it on the pitch.
Yeah.
And we're safe to say it now because obviously you've left the club. What was the game that you got in trouble for? Didn't you play a track?
Oh.
And you got in...
This was Roma
Yeah.
in 2001. Somebody down at Radio Merseyside suggested it'd be a nice idea to play Arrivederci Roma at the end. It sounds crazy, but I was told that somebody in the suit upstairs had said he had a good idea, which was a lie. I was stitched up, good start.
Right.
So if you listen to the track Arrivederci Roma, basically it says, we look forward to seeing your beautiful city again soon. There's nothing controversial. I had no malice at all. Of course, at the end, I put this on. Downstairs, the entire cop fell about laughing. And it just went all downhill. When I got round to the front desk to go home, somebody said, like it, quick. Apparently Gerard Houllier was embarrassed. Somebody asked him about this, and he said, I only pick as a team, not some music. And then I was told that the match commander had accused me of starting a riot. And so it went on, and the next morning I tracked down the police commander, and he said, no, nothing with the camera.
I think it made the paper in a few
I still can't go to Italy for my holiday. I believe there are mafiosi who got my picture on the wall. I know there's one or two people that I've still got it in for me all these years later, but the upshot was that on the Friday night, I woke up sort of early doors, 1 o'clock in the morning, and my face was puffing out, and I'd been taking these blood pressure tablets.
Right.
Unbeknown to me, I shouldn't have taken them because because of one or two things I had anyway, that anything stressful would set off a reaction, and I very nearly choked to death. Luckily, my wife got me around to the hospital. That was the Friday night, and then on they sorted me out, put me full of adrenaline, and I was out. And then on the Sunday, we were playing Birmingham in the League Cup down at Cardiff, and I did a bit on the pitch. Then I had to walk all the way around to get to my seat, and all the way around there were Scousers coming the other way, all singing Arrivederci Roma. And I thought, never again. I thought I was dead. And even the couple of the newspapers, headliner, Anfield DJ causes Italian fury and all the rest of it. And
people like to get on something, don't they,
that
sort
was,
of sensationalise it.
Yeah, it's something I keep trying to forget about, but I'm still here to tell the tale.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And just one last thing, and then we'll move on to Mick in a second. Didn't you get a quote from Jurgen Klopp as well? Did he have some nice things to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, I was amazed when this was launched. I was on Steph's packed lunch on Channel 4, and we were having a chat, and Steph says, let's hear what Kenny's got to say. And Kenny came on the screen behind it and said some nice things about me and whatever. I said, oh, that's nice. And I turned back to face Steph, and there's this deep voice behind me. And I turned around, and Jurgen's on the screen. And I had no clue this was coming off. And he's telling the world what a great bloke I was. I'm a true Liverpool legend, he said. This is a fantastic book. And I didn't know which way to turn, but when I got home, my wife says, I don't know how you held yourself together.
Yeah.
And I said, neither do I, but then I think it was a couple of days later, the Echo had a headline that Jurgen Klopp brings the Voice of Anfield to tears on national TV. And a couple of weeks later, we did a programme at Liverpool TV station, and Jurgen apologised. I said, no, nothing to apologise about. I was so chuffed, absolutely.
I had the pleasure of meeting him once.
Yeah.
I filmed a television advert for, I think it was a beer commercial, Erdinger. And then we did some shots outside the next day. And I had the chance to meet him. And do you know the nice thing? He said, right, who wants a picture? Yeah. He actually said that to everyone. Yeah. Who would like a picture?
Yeah.
And we went, yeah. So we all went over and got a picture with him.
Yeah.
And I ended up walking with him because I was like, this is the Liverpool manager.
Yeah.
And I think we beat Tottenham 1-0 away. I think Bobby Firmino scored.
Yeah.
And he was buzzing. You knew. And I said to him, are we going to win the title or what, boss? And he went, that's the plan, my friend. And I started walking with him going, can't believe, I was like a bit of a kid. I was like, I can't believe I met you, Jurgen, and and I love you, mate, and all this. And he went, okay, you're being a bit of a stalker now. And I thought, it's not every day you get to meet Jurgen Klopp. I mean, but the nice thing about him, and I've got to say this about Jurgen, and there's lots of stories like this, what you see is what you get.
Exactly.
He has got time for everybody, and it must be tough.
Yeah.
Being a Liverpool manager at the best of times, no matter what era it is. Yeah. But to say that to everyone, okay, he wants a selfie, and I know he's on a film set and it's a little bit different than walking down the street.
He's a great bloke. I mean, the story in the book, the first time I met him was his first home game. And I saw him go past and I followed him up the stairs. I've got to say hello. And I went my hand out to shake hands and said, hi, my name's George. And he stopped. He said, oh yes, yours is famous Voice of Anfield. And I nearly fell back down the stairs. I was so shocked. But somebody told me later that he'd been there a week and he knew the names of everybody, not just the squad, but the youth team, the tea lady, the stewards.
He made that a big impact.
That's the way he was, the way he is.
He made that a big impact.
Yeah.
Can you just say, me and Nick said this, the lad who's filming this with us today, can you just give us 2 minutes left and just give us your voice? Who's your favourite player to say? Whenever you said it, I think Steven Gerrard, whenever you'd say goal scorer for Liverpool, Steven Gerrard. Can you just give us a little bit of that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
put you on the spot here.
Put me on the spot. If you want me to do I say the favourite one that a lot of people have got on their phones is me when Mo scored.
Yeah.
So that was the easy one. Scorer for Liverpool, number 11, Mo Salah.
Isn't that brilliant, that? Yeah. Isn't that great? And then
the thing, once or twice over the years, I've had new young stewards who wouldn't let me in the building.
Right.
And I say who I was, and they say, yeah, and I'm the King Tutankhamun. And I'd stop and go, there'll be 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes. And they're, oh, sorry, mate. And I mean, never failed.
It's one of the, and I know I'm being biased here, but I don't think the new guy who's got, I know Peter does it now, doesn't he? But you've got such, it's a commanding voice, isn't it? You should be doing adverts, I think.
Well, I'll forget, I've got my equity card.
There you go. If you want to get in touch with George, I think Thai food. Biscuits,
whatever. Well, I did.
Volta roll.
Yeah. Towards the end, just before the end of last season, I did the voiceover for the advert for the new kit.
Oh, did you, right?
The Adidas stuff, and that's quite weird, that, but somebody said to me, you should call yourself the voiceover of Anfield. And I said, no, I'm the artist formerly known as the Voice of Anfield. You know, that'll be me forever. They gave me a shirt, as you know, with
54 on the back.
54 on the back. And I noticed there's no 54 in the squad this year.
Right.
So I'm praying for the rest of my life.
Do you know they should do that?
They do, yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I'm not going to elevate myself, really, but that just tickled me, that the number 54. I've got the shirt on the wall over my desk, which is
that's amazing.
Is quite weird.
It's such a special thing that you've done, and like you say, to keep that longevity for 54 years is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible to do, and like you say, to be looking over that pitch and to be in every area of the stadium. And I know you're above the cop as well, so you're almost like a fan with a massive bird's eye view.
Well, now I'm a fan with a not so massive bird's eye, but it's good. I'm starting to relax into my new style of life now.
No, it's good. Thank you so much for coming, George.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. And George is obviously going to stick around. We'll move on to you, Mick. Obviously, most people will know Mick Miller or may not know Mick Miller. Professional stand-up comedian, one of the best, in my opinion. I've got to say it because he's sat next to me. I've been supporting Mick on tour, and we're doing that next year as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got quite a few dates looking forward to them,
The gigs have been tremendous. And obviously, I think you've played it before, but you're hot off the press of just playing the Royal Variety, was it last week?
It was last week, at the Royal Albert Hall, which was very good. I mean, it's a massive place. I was a bit worried, you know, because a venue like that, you're worried about the sound, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously the TV company have got it, and it was absolutely brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
But they ask you to do, run through. There's nobody there. 4,000 people, you know. There's nobody there, just a band, you know. So I went on for my warm-up and I just did gags to the band. Get the band on your side, you know. Yeah, but it was great. There was Westlife were on, Catherine Jenkins, Jessie J, Madness, and then they had that Les Miserables. There was 400 of them.
They're all doing the... It's
like but some of the boxes, you know, they were all in there singing. And
all right.
Michael Ball and...
Alfie Ball.
No, it wasn't Alfie Ball. It was, what's he call him? Do you know the guy from Little Britain?
Was it Matt Lucas or...
Matt Lucas, that was him and them. Dead Ringers, they were on, they were very good. Yeah, it was good. And the finalist from the one that won Britain's Got Talent, the magician, he was on.
Yeah.
And Paddington.
Paddington Bear.
Paddington, yeah. So, but it was nice to meet William and Catherine.
Yeah, you got to meet...
They were great. They were great.
It's Prince William, isn't it?
And it's 21st of December it's on from 6 o'clock till 8:30.
I used to love it. It was one of those things as a kid that I was like, it was always traditional Christmas thing that you were like, Royal Variety performance.
Yeah.
Or live at the Palladium and stuff like that.
Well, I did it before. I did it in 2011 at the Lowry in Manchester.
Right.
And I was supposed to be just a theatre act only, you know, so I was just, while they got things ready, you know, I went on after Penn and Teller. They needed 6 minutes to get they were doing Singing in the Rain, so they had to get the water jets ready. So I went on and did 6 minutes. And all the comics that were on died, you know.
Really?
They really died, so I won't mention them. So they phoned us up, me and Steve, who you know, and they phoned us up one night. We were going to a gig, and they said, "Your bit's that good that we'll put it in."
Amazing.
So I was on the show, but I didn't meet the Royal, and I didn't do the walk down, you know. So this time I did.
Yeah, I've heard of comics doing that. They've done the warm up, and they film it, and they've had it as a clip, so they put it on YouTube or whatever. I know a few comics that have done that. But that's incredible. 4,000 that holds then.
Yeah.
4,000. So was it a Dickie Bow job when you went out there?
Yeah, I went on in all the, you know, the good old days of the Dickie Bow. I went on with that, and Jason Manford did a great job.
He's hosting it.
He's hosting it, so he did a great job, Jason, you know. Because usually these things, you know...
They can be a bit stuffy, can't they?
Oh, they can take hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But it went so boom, straight through.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, you go to the after party, and it was at the Natural History Museum.
Really?
Yeah. And I did a gig there once at the Natural History Museum. I used to do all these gigs for Rover and Jaguar. I used to go all over the world, Bermuda, Florida. Anyway, when it was going downhill, the guy phoned me, and I'm going like, where are we going this year? And he went, Natural History Museum. So I got there, and they had like 20 tables each side of the dinosaur, the big dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
They had 20 tables each side, and they all had a little Bose speaker, so the sound was quite good. And the stage was right in front of its head. And I walked on and I said, you haven't left much. Which got a great laugh.
That is a great joke. That is a great joke. That's a great joke. Incredible. So you've done that recently. We're doing some more dates next year, aren't we?
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
Dares
yeah.
Grins. You can get tickets to that. It'll flash up there. whodaresgrins.com. There's a little QR code there. You can scan it and you can book tickets to see Mick, and I'll be supporting him on that tour. So that's all there. Lovely. So what we want to talk about, obviously, we know about your comedy career. We know how amazing it's been. What we want to look at is this. Is your scrapbook.
This scrapbook. Because when I left Liverpool, I was played for Liverpool schoolboys, and then I got signed on at Port Vale by Sir Stanley Matthews. So I was 16, and I went to. I was a goalkeeper, but I was only 5'9" at 16, and I was 5'9" at 20. So I wasn't tall enough.
Yeah.
But I had 3 years there. I had 1 year of the ground staff, and then 2 years as a pro.
That's something that they used to do, wasn't it? So when they brought you in as an apprentice, they just wouldn't bring you in as a footballer, would
all
they?
it was cheap labour, really.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't make it, they just had cheap labour for a year. Because we had to do the pitch,
Clean boots.
clean the boots,
Yeah.
and that was horrible on a Monday morning. If they'd been playing away. So it was them big, raffia skips,
Yeah.
and you'd open it up, and you'd just go, oof. So you've got all the boots, all the kit, and you've got to get it all out, and then get it to the washing woman.
Do you think that's a good thing, though, for an apprentice to do that?
It got me discipline.
Yeah.
We were looked after by an old pro, and he was like, my first day there, I've got my kit on and my number, and I'm running down the tunnel, and he went, where are you going? And I went, I'm going to train. And he went, no, you're not. You're going to clean them windows. And I went, I haven't come here to clean windows. And he grabbed me by the ear.
Did he?
Took me straight into Stanley Matthews, and he said, Sir Stanley, what does he do? He said, you do anything he says. I went, okay. That was it. But he took a shine to me, because he was 75 at the time. And he'd be in the boot room and he'd get the ball, I said, Mr. Cope, can I go training? He said, if you can do this, you can go training. And he used to get the ball, slap it against the wall, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. He'd do it 10 times with each foot, and he was 75. And he went, if you can do that, you can go training. So I got the ball. I'm a goalkeeper, you know what I mean? So I've gone, it's gone over there. And I went, right, what do you want me to do then?
That's incredible. So when do you get the football and just play it off the
On the
sole
bottom
of his foot?
Off the bottom of his foot.
Into the corner on the wall, and just sort of like you would do with your hands, he was doing that with his feet at 75.
Yeah, he was incredible. And Matthews, I was there with Ray Kennedy. Me and Ray were in the same digs. After Christmas, they used to say, right, go and burn these. So there was a 45-gallon drum. They give us some lighter fuel, and they go and burn these. There was sacks and sacks of Christmas cards, because Matthews, he was like the Messi and the Ronaldo of the day. Everyone in the world. So me and Ray we've lit the thing, and we're getting these Christmas cards, and we're going to Sir Stanley, best wishes, have a nice Christmas, Pele.
No.
Every George Best, but there was no memorabilia them days,
Could you imagine having that
I'm
card
trying
now?
not to.
Didn't you tell me there was one from Pushkas?
Pushkas, Yashin, Oh yeah, everybody.
Could you imagine having that stack of cards? I'm telling you now, they would go for. I'd hate to think the price. Could you imagine going at Sotheby's?
And he was
like the lesser watch, wouldn't
he was playing till he was like 54.
Yeah, I saw him play when he was 50 at Goodison Park.
And he was a very, very shrewd man.
Yeah,
What he used to do was, he'd say to the board, right, he said, the youngsters, he said, I'm going to take them to like Hereford and play a game. So he'd go to Hereford and he'd be on the programme and he'd go on for 10 minutes.
Really?
He'd cop off the gate.
Right.
And there'd be like 4,000 on. I'd never forget it. And remember John Charles, Big John Charles?
I met him once too.
Right, I was only 16 and he was playing for Hereford.
Oh.
And I've come out like a swan to get this ball. And he's come and he's gone, boof. And I'm hanging in the net, winded. Anyway, I get up and after the match, he come in the dressing room, he said, where's the keeper? He said, are you all right, son? Yeah.
Is he flattened you?
Oh, he was a massive bloke.
He was huge.
That was when keepers used to get assaulted, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about goalkeepers now, the protection they get now.
Yeah.
If someone nudges a goalkeeper, it's like free kick or whatever.
And Clough, I played against Clough. When he was manager of, I think he was manager of Hartlepool.
That's right.
And we played
Brian
him.
Clough, sorry.
Yeah, played him in a testimonial. And he knew Port Vale only had one goalkeeper.
Right.
So he tried to have a go at me. Didn't realise I wasn't the first team keeper.
Right. So he thought if they injure the keeper, then they've got to put one of the outfielders.
They've got to play me.
And there was, in that era as well, was there only one sub?
Yeah.
One sub?
Yeah.
When you think now there's 5
11
subs.
man, wasn't it? 12 man. 12 man, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Well,
5 subs now.
I think it's 7 now. I think I've lost track.
I think on the bench, can you have 9 on the bench? I get so confused now. Because like when I'm at the game now, like I used to, when it was 3 subs, I could go, well, I know he's changing the left back, for him, or he's dropping a defender and bringing someone in midfield. But when they make 5 changes now, you're literally in the stadium going, you try and figure it out, don't you? Your eyes are going crazy, going,
well, how do you think I felt?
Are they playing 3 at the back or 2? So it is a bit.
The last couple of years, that's what's been driving me batty. You thought that they've got to bring them on at certain spells in the game. More than once, both teams will bring 3 subs on. And they've got, instead of the one board, they've got 2 boards now. And you've got your team sheet, mic, the scoreboard, everything's going at once. And
I think it'll be roll on, roll off soon. Like the pubs, like pub five-a-side.
How did you go on with some of the names then? That must have been.
I never had trouble with the names, touch wood, because at school I did Spanish and Russian, so I could cope with most of them. The only problem I had was with Greeks. Mid-70s we played AEK in the European Cup, and there were no squads there. So I got a programme, there's a list of 11 names, and the team sheet comes up, 5 of them have been dropped. So there's 5 new names, and then there's 5 subs underneath. And I tried my best, well, I think we got away with it, but next to me, in a little booth, were the guys doing the hospital commentary, for patients who couldn't get to the match. And I was listening to them in one ear, and according to those 2 guys, Tommy Smith and Joey Jones were passing the ball backwards and forward to each other for 90 solid minutes. They never mentioned the Greeks. I thought, if only they knew.
I'd be knackered because I'm dyslexic. Why is dyslexic such a stupid word to spell?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So we can have a look at the scrapbook then.
There's loads of stuff.
That. There's so much, isn't there? Because you were selected to play for England as well.
I was in England youth team, yeah.
Incredible.
We played at Anfield in the Youth Cup.
Tetley Walker Ales, was that the sponsor?
Yeah, that must have been the club sponsor.
Someone signed that, Nick. Or is it just a scribble? That was basically a match program.
Fairclough's on there.
Amazing.
Yeah, Bozeman, he played well, didn't he? He went on.
So this is 67-68 season.
That was one of Stanley Matthews, when he used to turn out. We played South Shields.
Is that loose? Or is that in? didn't it?
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Pushkas and
Yeah.
Yashin. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you played in that match, or is that
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
Right? Wow.
Yeah, there's loads you can. That's the ground.
That's the Port Vale Stadium.
It's a massive stadium, especially when you've got to mow it.
And clean the windows.
And they've got loads of these. You know, Stanley Matthews to me mum and dad and all that. You know,
Wow.
signed. And there's one.
So was that the form when they wanted to sign you then? Because
Yeah,
there was obviously a big
yeah.
paper trail in those days.
Just
And
little things, yeah.
where everything now is probably on some sort of
My
secure
signing on
database.
fee was my mother got an 18-piece dinner service. That was it.
Yeah, because that still happens now, doesn't it? Does mum need a new kitchen?
Yeah.
What's dad's car like? You know, you give him a
That was one where he said to me mum and dad, we played Wigan Athletic. And he's in excellent health, and the other night he was the man of the match and all that. You know, it's lovely stuff to
So
keep.
that's like a match report as well.
But this was lost for 50 years. I lived in Bournemouth at the time,
right.
and I was going out with this girl, and she borrowed it to have a look at it, and fell out with me, and I never saw it again for 50 years. And then a woman got in touch with Steve and said, my mother's kept this for 50 years.
So basically, an old girlfriend had this
For 50 years,
for
yeah.
50 years.
And sent it back a couple of months ago.
That's incredible, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's kind-heartedness, that.
Yeah, yeah,
Because they've obviously looked through it and gone,
yeah.
"Ooh, I don't think we get away with this on eBay." But that
Can
is...
you cut Stanley Matthews' autograph out?
Yeah, Pushkas is one. But no, it's incredible, and
Yeah.
we'll put some cutaways in that.
Yeah,
as well.
lovely, yeah.
We'll put some cutaways in that. So when you signed for Port Vale, Stanley Matthews that signed you. So what age were you then? Was it 16?
16.
Right.
Got £4.11 shillings
A week.
a week, and they used to pay me digs, which was £6.
Right.
So, yeah.
So in terms of the average working wage then, £4 a week, what was the comparison to the working
No,
wage?
it wasn't a lot. I don't think it was.
Was it not a lot that?
It would have been minimum. Well, it was minimum wage.
Yeah.
You know, but,
Yeah. It's incredible. Could you imagine an apprentice now saying you're on 40
Yeah.
quid a week or whatever? They'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. So it's incredible. So how would you get to training every day? Was it a bike ride? Was it?
No, it was a walk.
Was it a
was a
walk?
walk. Yeah, we just up from the ground. Yeah, we just walk in and then do all our stuff and little jobs. Like one of my jobs was going to the cobblers. You know, because if one of them wanted his boots done,
Yeah.
because a lot of them kept the boots forever.
For the whole career?
Yeah. You know, get them repaired, you know.
And the boot, were the boots like an ankle boot in those days? Or were they
No,
sort
they
of
were
like what they are now?
Adidas and Puma. But you just liked and leather sole and metal studs, you know, which I think they banned now, have they? They banned them.
I think so.
A metal band now? Completely banned?
I mean-
I think they're like a plastic and a metal on the
Yeah,
bottom, aren't they?
it's all scientific now. It's
Yeah. It's the colours now,
I
isn't it, as
remember
well?
proper old-fashioned footy boots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they call
but-
them blades now, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember having a pair. I've still got them actually. They're Adidas Predator, but they're a blade on the bottom. Those are banned now, but I've kept them, and I don't play football anymore. But I still think there's a bit of dust on them, a bit of mud on them. But I've kept them.
Well, they were the
Because I
Craig
thought-
Johnston boots, weren't
Yeah,
they?
Craig Johnson. Yeah, he invented.
Invented them,
well,
yeah.
it was his. I believe what he did. He was playing table tennis one day. It's funny, isn't it, how you got this useless information in your head? And he took the rubber off a table tennis racket and thought, I wonder if you put that on a boot, would it manipulate the flight of the ball on contact? And then obviously Adidas developed it and put like a ridge.
That's
And
right.
those first Adidas Predator, they were the best in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if you've got a pair of those now, they're worth about 1,200 quid. So
There was
getting
some,
lots of-
do you remember Di Stefano?
Oh, yes. Alfredo.
Alfredo Di Stefano. He played for Real Madrid. He had a pair, and they were like just little bits of the table tennis bat.
On the-
circles.
So that was already
on the
a
front,
thing.
yeah.
Right?
I've seen Craig Johnson recently. I think it's a fan thing, but he's now copying your hairstyle. Yeah.
Is it? Just going back to the Royal Variety. And you've always joked about it. Because I think in your bio, Mick is known as the bald-headed, long-haired comedian, aren't
Yeah,
you?
ball fella with the long hair.
The bald fella with the long hair. So didn't they give you Didn't they give you like a goodie bag?
Oh,
The
yeah.
thing, what was in the goodie bag?
Well, it was that. There was some smelly stuff. Steve got one as well. He got a brush, and I got a comb.
Did it have your name on it?
No.
No, it's just all got the same.
But apparently they're really Kent combs. They're from down south.
Like a posh.
I do a gag. I said, 90% of ball men still have a comb. Yeah. Just can't part with it.
Do you know, you can quote so many of your gags. What is your favourite gag out of everything? You've got a million gags. And what I love about working with you, and I think I've said this, there's always something I've never heard. If you come and see Mick, you might have seen bits on
there's stuff going,
YouTube.
all new stuff going in all the time.
You're always working. You
come.
You said one to me in the green room. You're like, I've just written this one. What do you think of that? And I was like, in stitches. They're just so boom, and you do that for an hour.
I've got one at the moment.
Blinking,
I do a gag about Scouser, and he's in court stealing lead off roofs. So the judge said, "Why do you steal lead off roofs?" He said, "Well, it's my hobby." He said, "What can you do with lead?" He said, "I make lead soldiers." He said, "Oh, I had a collection of them when I was a boy." He said, "And what do you do with these lead soldiers?" He said, "Well, I put them into regiments." He said, "And when I've got 20,000 of them in a regiment, I march them down the scrapyard." Mate of mine, in and out of prison all his life, and I saw him in the pub. He said, "Hey Mick, here." He said, "I robbed this place last night, and I've got two pictures. One picture's 1.6 million, the other one's 1.9 million quid. Come and have a look. They're in my boot." And he's opened his boot. I said, "You robbed an estate agent." And then I said to him, "When you ran in, did you say, 'Nobody move'?"
That is a belter. There's just top. We call them toppers, don't we? So when you look, it can be. Sometimes it can be a cardinal sin as a comedian. You say a really good joke and you go, "I want to do a topper on that." And sometimes you do it to your detriment, don't you? It just falls. But yours are they just keep coming. It's just an hour of brilliance.
Can I just say, Mick is one of probably 3 comics I can think of who've got the gift. You're a naturally funny man. You can wander on stage before you're telling jokes.
Yeah.
You got, Tommy Cooper used to be like that. I remember he was in Liverpool. He was staying in a hotel near where I was working, and he went in a bar at the end of the road, and people said, he just walked through the door, and people were falling about laughing.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
He was. I worked with him a couple of times. I'll never forget. He was at Manchester Airport. And this fella said to him, "Tommy Cooper, what are you doing here?" He said, "Well, where I live in London, it's a big long road. He said, "There's a pub at that end, and there's a pub at that end. And I'm barred from both of them. So I come here."
He's great, Tommy Cooper, wasn't he? There's loads of great stories about. He did a gig once where it's just one of those little I'm obsessed with watching documentaries about comics, being a comic myself. And he was backstage, and he had a mic to introduce himself, and the mic was in a cupboard just to sort of keep it soundproof. And apparently he did the first half hour going, "I'm stuck in the cupboard. Yeah. I can't get out." And the audience is just laughing. So there's a mic on the stage, nothing's happening, and he's going, "I can't get out." And then he'd just go quiet for 2 minutes, and then he'd rattle round, make a few sound effects, and go, "No, still can't get out." And apparently this went on for about half an hour. And he went, "I tell you what, we'll have a break, and I'll come and see you in half an hour." Yeah, and the audience
He was incredible. I did a couple of weeks with him. And we were in the Brown Cow in Salford. We were doing the Golden Garter, Manchester. And walking out, and these young lads, they went, "Oh, Tommy Cooper, do us a trick. And he went, "No, we're going to work. Do us a trick. And he went, "All right." And he said, "Get me a pint." So this kid buys him a pint, and he went, "Get in a circle." And he went, and he dropped it, and it smashed, and he went, "Didn't work." That was it.
No, he's always, people like that are just always on. Yeah. So good. So, we'll wrap things up in a second. But yeah, I think this has been.
I've enjoyed it. Lovely.
I've really enjoyed it. And like you say, if you want to come and see Mick Miller with our good selves, who does Grins, scan the QR code at the bottom. I think we've got 20 dates in for next year.
Yeah.
Ticket sales are flying out, so don't miss out. I'll be supporting Mick as well. So the format of the show is I'll come on and do about half an hour, 20 minutes. Then we have a little break, and then Mick comes on and does a solid hour. George, your book is obviously on sale. Do you just want to show the camera that as well?
Yes.
So obviously the Voice of Anfield.
I'm booking now for Panto, incidentally. Yeah.
Panto?
So, yeah.
I think we need to get you some voiceovers, mate.
Yeah.
I think we could definitely get you some voiceovers.
Do
you know, the thing is with
that.
AI now,
Yeah.
they could probably still use George's voice with AI in the future. I think we should bring that. I think we should look at that.
That's a good idea.
It can last forever. You know what I mean? And it's all your gags as well. AI will you just stand there, say nothing. Just let the machine do it. But yeah, I think we're not far off that in the future. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you to my two guests. George, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Mick, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
And
Cheers.
I've really enjoyed it. You're gigging this afternoon in Liverpool, aren't you?
Yes, and it's hot water.
You're
4
at
o'clock.
Hot Water?
Yeah, 4
At
o'clock.
4
this
o'clock.
afternoon.
So I don't know
and
when
next
this
Sunday as well.
I don't know when this is going out, but get over there. So if you're watching this on Catch Up, you probably missed it. But listen, thanks again to my two guests. Thanks for tuning in with my good self in conversation with Bobby Murdock. We will see you soon for another episode. Do me a favour, just before you log off, so to speak, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go to our website. Make sure you add me on all the social media that's here as well. And thank you for watching, and I will see you soon again for another In Conversation with Bobby Murdock. Thanks for watching.